Good, you're here. I'm so glad. So, where's Prince Charming?
I invited my partner. He's a no-show.
Oh.
He's a key witness in a trial that starts tomorrow, so they are rehearsing today.
Well, it's his loss. You look beautiful.
Thanks. How are you, Roxanne?
I'm doing fine.
You look.
Like I need a drink?
No, you do not look like you need a drink. You look really strong.
Thanks.
So how are things with Alvin? Okay?
He's trying really hard. We both are. You know, I got him in the program, and we're avoiding the old crowd, the drunks and the users. Rita, I think we're gonna make it.
I'm really happy for you.
Hey, come on, this is a party.
Okay.
Let me introduce you around. Come on.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Alvin. I've got something for you. I'll even unwrap it for you.
You know, Roxanne will shoot us both if she catches you here.
Who cares? I miss my Alvin. I want him back.
Give it a rest, Viv, will you? I'm trying to make my marriage work.
You can give up your pills and your booze, baby. But you don't have to give up me.
What I was using, I could have had a good time with a telephone pole.
Why don't you just spare me the sobriety pitch?
You know, part of my rehab program is to make a list of the people I hurt because of my addictions and to make amends. And you're on my list, Vivian.
Oops, here it comes.
True. And my addictions fed yours, and I let it happen.
The only thing you fed me was the same thing you fed every other woman in Palm Beach.
Everett? What are you doing here?
Lighten up, Roxanne. It's Alvin's birthday. We brought a present.
We? Vivian's here? Where is she?
She was upstairs with Alvin earlier.
This bitch. I will kill them both. Alvin? Oh, damn it, Alvin. Oh, how could you?
There's our boy.
I told you what happened, Alvin.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly
History.
good fellow. Sad.
Happy birthday, Calvin!
Palm Beach is a town full of money. Almost everybody here has it. Most have a lot, so what do they do with it? They spend more than a little on the pursuit of fun and pleasure. And sometimes it's more than just high times and misdemeanors. I really appreciate it, Noriko. I hate to ruin your day off.
Yeah. When did it happen?
A little less than an hour ago. I wanted you to see the body as soon as possible.
Long way down, Mr. Drake.
Anyone see what happened?
Yeah, about 30 or 40 people.
You think it's a homicide?
I don't know, but I think drugs were definitely involved.
Wouldn't be the first time a junkie fell down and broke his neck.
He wasn't a junkie, Lieutenant.
Then where do the drugs fit in?
I don't know, but I know the Drakes and drugs have not been a part of their life for a while.
Listen, my guys will pick up Mr. Drake. Talk to you tomorrow morning, first thing?
Great, thanks a lot.
Sure.
Well, listen, I'm gonna go talk to Roxanne. Why don't you salvage the rest of your Sunday, Lieutenant?
I can stay. We'll interview some of the witnesses.
I saw the whole thing happen. Listen, you can talk to me tomorrow while Dr. Weinstein is interviewing Alvin Drake. I'll see you then.
When I went downstairs, he was still dressing. He said he'd be right along. And when I came back, I found him over there. He'd taken a hit of something.
Where did you find this?
In his hand.
What kind of drugs was he taking, Roxanne?
I don't know.
It is very important for you to tell me the truth about this.
He wasn't taking any drugs. Not anymore. He hadn't used or had a drink in over 5 months.
Was there a stash laying around of yours that maybe he could have gotten into?
Drugs aren't my thing, Rita. You know that. It's the bottle for me. What is this attitude?
You said that you found the syringe in his hand, but you said that he doesn't use drugs. It doesn't make sense.
Look, I don't know why he did it, all right? But I bet you I know who slipped him the drugs.
Who?
Vivian DeLong.
Who was that?
Shrink. She wanted my husband. And she thought if she could get him started using again, she'd have him.
Last year doing the Fresh Air for Kids Fund, and I was at the health club taking pledges. Roxanne, she had never heard of the camp. She reached into her purse and she wrote a check for $500.
Pocket change for somebody with her money, but still a nice gesture.
You know, at that time, I never would have believed that she had a drinking problem.
Well, come on, Rita, the Drakes were big-time partiers, always in the papers. Social swingers, booze and alcohol goes with the territory.
Well, she says she's clean now anyway.
You believe her?
I want to.
All right, I gotta get out of here. Due at the courthouse.
You think it's going to be a long trial?
Today's the first day, and already it's a long trial. See you.
Have fun.
All right.
How's the family, George?
They're fine, Bert. Thanks for asking.
One boy, right?
That's right. 9 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was 5. The day before that he was 2. It sure gets away from you.
Time passes.
You know, sometimes I feel like I'm missing out. I mean, I'm not a part of his life. Most of my time is spent at the office or in court.
Man's got to have his work, George. It's what defines us. You can't lose touch with that. You either grow in your job, or you dry up and die. What's going on in the DA's office, George? That's what I've lost touch with.
Bert, I know you and Roy are old friends. Shouldn't you be asking him?
He wouldn't give me a straight answer if I did ask him. Roy Conroy's out, George.
Out? You mean out?
There won't be any judgeship for Roy Conroy. The man's not smart. He's not a team player. He wouldn't listen to what I said once too often.
He's done good work. He put a good team together.
The team made him look good, but that's not good enough. The job needs foresight, vision. Vision is what I'm talking about. I want you to run for district attorney, George. I can put you in the job. Look beyond this. Judge Donovan. Senator Donovan. I'm not just spinning rainbow dreams here. It can happen.
I thought you might like to see this one for yourself.
I found bruises on his right shoulder, right arm, some bruising on the knee. Got a real crack on the back of the head.
Really?
You saw those stairs. It could happen. But it wasn't fatal, no more than a moderate concussion.
Then what killed him?
Your first impression was right. Opiate overdose, leading to a massive respiratory collapse.
Well, it was a little more than a first impression.
He was dead before he hit the stairs. Here's the point of injection.
That's unusual.
It wasn't street goods, it was pure. I'm guessing morphine. We're gonna run a gas chromatograph on the syringe, so I'll know for sure tomorrow.
It's unusual again.
Yes, it is.
How much did he use?
Let's just say, if this state executed by lethal injection, they couldn't do it any better than this.
So Alvin, who knew his drugs, would do something stupid like this. This stuff was in his pockets?
Yes.
That's interesting. The matches were used left to right, which means he was probably left-handed. With the needle in his left arm, I guess he could have used his offhand, or maybe somebody helped him. Thanks, Doctor. There were hard feelings on her part, although I never really understood why. But Roxanne's thinking seemed to go sideways after she got on her sobriety kick. You mean she was acting irrational? I wouldn't say irrational. See, the four of us had been very close. Alvin and I, Roxanne and Everett. I think I get the picture. It's Palm Beach, Sergeant. We all enjoy a little more freedom here. Anyway, Roxanne decided she didn't want to play the game anymore, which is fine, but then she just started acting like I was trying to take Alvin. I mean, we were good in bed together, but that's about it. Let's get back to what happened yesterday. Did you go see Alvin? Mm-hmm. He was getting dressed, and I just wanted to say happy birthday. But he was afraid that Roxanne would find us together and get mad, kick him out. So we made other arrangements. Alvin was still pursuing a relationship with you? We were both pursuing it. Did the two of you do drugs when you were together? Nope. Alvin was staying straight for his party. He always did when he was going to be around Roxanne. And I knew that me even being there might be touchy with her, so I was on my best behavior. Roxanne put so much pressure on him to quit, but his heart just wasn't in it. He was terrified that she would find out. Did she? I don't know. Although I did tell him I thought he should do whatever turned him on for his birthday. It's his day. You're a psychiatrist. Why would you encourage a man who's struggling with drug and alcohol dependency to do whatever turns him on? Alvin could handle his use. He wasn't a slave to it. It was purely recreational. Roxanne couldn't understand that. Her obsession with sobriety was making his life a living hell, and I don't think it should be like that.
I could eat you with a spoon.
Well, I don't have a spoon. Couldn't you just use your fingers like a piece of chicken?
Some piece of chicken. I've always thought you were the sexiest woman I've ever known.
I get so excited knowing you want me.
Poor Alvin.
What?
Even dead, he's got to be missing this.
You're terrible.
I don't want to share you anymore.
Could be asking for more than you can handle. A lot of work for one man.
I'm up to it.
Let's see if you are.
The sleazo from the Sentinel? The guy that leaves a trail of slime wherever he goes? He's on me about the autopsy report. Is it true you're not going to release the body until it's complete? What do you expect it to show? Is it going to be made public? The guy's a shark.
So what'd you tell him?
No comment.
Oh, bet that slowed him down.
Macker says, why are we running a covert op on a homicide? I say, who told you that? He says 2 homicide cops and an ME showed up at the scene minutes after it happened. Is that true?
Yeah, I was an invited guest. I called Dr. Weinstein and Lieutenant Hudson.
Do we have a homicide here?
We have a suspicious death that might involve drugs. What I saw didn't make sense, so I called.
And you opened one big can of worms in the process. Drake was tight with the people who run this town. His boss, my boss, it's a long list.
Well, now I am really sorry, George.
You should be. If Macker starts tagging this as a homicide, those people in charge are going to want you to bust somebody, then they're going to want me to hang him.
And you don't want to try a high-profile case that you might lose.
Absolutely. If I can't make this stick, I wind up the sacrificial goat.
Macker and those bottom feeders he works for would love that.
Let's cut the political crap. Party line is accidental death until we come up with a slam dunk suspect.
I don't care what we call it, Lieutenant, as long as we can continue the investigation. Now, there is a good chance that he did not inject himself, and if that is the case, maybe it wasn't an accident.
Any proof? Then, my quote to the press. The cause of Alvin Drake's death was an overdose of pain-killing medication. The investigation is continuing. No further comment at this time. End of quote. You have to know how to handle guys like Artie Macker. You have to be firm. You have to draw your line in the sand.
What did Roxanne say to you before she went upstairs?
Well, I forget her exact words. She wasn't very friendly, though. Kind of uptight. I think she was surprised Vivian and I were there. And, of course, enraged that Vivian had gone upstairs with Alvin.
I thought all of you were good friends.
Roxanne didn't really like Alvin to be around Vivian. They had had a relationship.
How did you feel about that?
It was over?
So you didn't have hostile feelings towards Drake?
No. What are you trying to imply, Detective? That I disliked Alvin? Because of Vivian? Please, don't make any more of that than it deserves.
Do you have any idea where Mr. Drake may have gotten the drugs that killed him?
Try any street corner. It's a growth industry.
So what'd you think about the wax job on Roxanne?
He didn't exactly accuse her, but the finger was pointed.
Mm-hmm. And I don't believe it.
Maybe you don't want to believe it.
You're right, I don't. A lot of what our job is about is understanding human nature. We are dealing with this group of people here, though, that I don't understand. They've got all the money in the world. They can go anywhere they want.
So why do the idle rich lie, cheat, get drunk, and get high as a way to heaven?
Yeah.
It's there to understand, Rita. A person can be rich and still have no sense of self-worth at the same time.
Roxanne has tried so hard to distance herself from that lifestyle. I just think that she deserves a break.
We're not in the break-giving business. The only prints on the syringe belong to Alvin and Roxanne, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's talk motive. How was the marriage holding up?
They had pulled everything together. She was sober, he was clean, and everything seemed all right.
Cover is a long road, Rita. If he did slip, that might have been enough to make her start calling those divorce lawyers again. And a divorce. She'd be lucky to get half of what he didn't hide, and her divorce lawyers would take half of that. With him dead, she gets to keep it all. Which, by the way, is?
I have heard in the neighborhood of $10 million mentioned.
That's a pretty pricey motive.
Rita.
Yeah.
I just left a note on your desk. Alvin Drake?
Uh-huh.
Definitely morphine. Undiluted. The intramuscular injection just diffused the drug. Slower, but just as lethal.
Well, what would have happened if he had injected it right into his vein?
Dead a lot quicker. His heart would probably have burst.
But this way could have given the killer time to get away.
Mm-hmm.
How long to deliver the shot?
From that syringe you gave me, 8, maybe 10 seconds.
That's too long. No, he could have fought it off. He could have pulled the needle out, yelled for help.
Unless he was unconscious.
He had that blow to the back of his head. I figured the stairs, from the fall. But he could have been sapped.
I think we go back to the crime scene. Drake's bedroom. You think we'll need a warrant?
No, I don't think Roxanne will object.
Look for something heavy with a straight edge. Maybe sharp, maybe rounded. You let me know what you find.
You have any thoughts about where the drugs came from?
This strength? Probably a hospital.
Great. We got a couple of doctors in the mix here.
That's one of those opioids doctors sometimes abuse. They have any hospital privileges?
Yeah, Maywood Hospital.
If you go through administration, it's going to take you 6 weeks, a ton of warrants, while they play cover my buns. Why don't you talk to my friend Lucy? Save you a lot of time and grief.
Isn't this a little,
Perfectly legal, just not by the hospital book.
Thanks, doctor.
Oh, and why don't you go by in the morning? I mean, like, anytime after 4 a.m. I'll let her know you're coming.
4 a.m. Be glad when Lorenzo's back on the job. I don't need to be out here beating the bushes before daylight.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Lieutenant.
Possibility.
Yeah, they're all dusty except for this one.
It's been wiped clean.
It looks like something right there.
Yeah.
We'll take it down to the lab and see what they can find.
Damn you. Damn you. You can't keep your knees together for a single day, can you?
You go straight to hell.
You, out of my house. Take it easy, buddy. The lady said she felt neglected. I was just trying to help her out. Just get out.
How dare you?
You bitch! Get up!
I'll shoot you, you miserable, impotent excuse for a man. You say one word and watch me.
George,
Hi.
what are you doing here?
I was taking a deposition inside. Thought I might catch you on your way home.
Oh.
Got a second?
Yeah, sure. Why didn't you stop by my desk?
Because this is very confidential. And I need some advice. Advice I can trust.
I'll do my best.
I'm thinking of running for DA.
George, that's terrific.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Funny. I've been finding all kinds of things wrong with it.
Like what?
Rita, I don't do the political thing very well. I feel inept at it. And the public exposure.
Get used to it, George.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I love my little family. The closeness, it's very private. But you hold public office, and that all gets opened up. I mean, everybody gets to look. You're exposed. The privacy goes away. I'm not sure I want to put my family through that. Plus the extra time the job demands. Time away from them, I already feel the job interferes.
George, I think your family would be thrilled for you. I understand your concern, but if you approach it together, maybe what you think is fear is really excitement. I think you should let him in on it.
It's such a big step.
But I don't think you should be afraid to take it. If that's what you want to do, you should do it.
Thanks.
My name is Roxanne. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Roxanne.
This is about my husband. We were both addicts. Me to alcohol and him to everything. I started coming to the meetings first, and then after a while, he came along too. It was like we had just met. The honesty was so incredible. It was so wonderful, you know, being so completely open, not hiding anything or denying anything, even to yourself. You all know that. He just had a birthday. I threw him a big party on Sunday. I found him with a needle in his hand. He'd taken a hit of something. A big hit. He died. I know I'm ready to slip. I'm feeling like I'm wanting to slip. But I don't want to. I don't. I've never felt so alone. I want to drink so bad. I love you, Alvin. Please help me to have the strength to keep coming back here. I don't know about you guys, but I could go for some cake and coffee. Our cake tonight is a 10-year cake. 10 years sober. For Lou is Lou, you here?
10 years and 3 days.
Way to go, Lou.
No. Way to go, Roxanne. Noriko's friend Lucy did it all on her computer, crossing doctor's orders against pharmacy inventory.
And are one of the DeLongs stealing morphine?
Not so far, no shortages. Down to the last pill.
Great. So now we do it the hard way, a drugstore at a time.
Oh, no, not yet. We're going to try something else. Lucy's at lunch.
Lunch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you start work at 4 a.m., you eat lunch at breakfast time. Which reminds me, I'm about to cave. Come on, keep me company. Lab boys get back to you on the statue.
Yep, they found human plasma on the base. It had been wiped down, but not completely.
No prints?
No prints.
What about the syringe?
The maker ID'd it as a sample lot that went to Maywood Hospital.
Where the DeLongs have privilege.
Uh-huh. They definitely had access, and they were the only people at the party who did. Thanks.
Talking out of school here, betraying a confidence.
Uh-huh.
I had a conversation of sorts with Mrs. Drake last night.
Is that right?
We have mutual friends. We're in the same recovery.
I didn't know.
I'm an alcoholic.
That you knew Roxanne.
I don't exactly know her. Recovering alcoholics tend to protect their anonymity.
Yeah, well, I guess their children do, too.
Your mom or your dad?
My dad. The last couple years of his life were a living hell. My mom died, and my dad was broke. He tried to hide it in the bottle. It didn't work.
Never does. Did he try a recovery program?
For a day, for a week, he was recovering all the time. And then one day he just gave up. Suicide.
Sorry.
No, I know how Roxanne pulled her life together. If it's not too personal, how'd you quit?
I'm still quitting. One day at a time. Every day is just a step.
Giant steps.
I was to the point your father was. My life was a shambles. Each day almost, I'll think of something. Something that happened during that time in my life. Something I probably tried to forget. And it's the same with your friend. She's still peeling away the old shriveled up layers of her life, trying to get to the healthy ones.
So you think she knows more than she realizes about why her husband was killed?
It's a possibility.
Sounds like you're starting to agree with my instincts about Roxanne.
A distinct possibility.
Excuse me. I'm Artie Macker.
Hey, Artie, the newspaper guy. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, right. I'm looking for George Donovan.
Well, I haven't seen George all day long.
Artie! Hey, good morning. George. Lorenzo?
Hey, George.
Lorenzo. Homicide. Are you working on that Alvin Drake accidental homicide? We can get into that. That's a good example of what I wanted to talk to you about. You know, there are ways that we can make life easier for each other. Lorenzo, aren't you supposed to be in court?
Yes, I am, George. Yes, I am. But you guys have had me sitting on my thumb all day long. You know, you could be just a bit more organized, don't you think?
Always a joker. Come on, Artie, let's get a cup of coffee. You know, I always admired you.
I would do anything to please Alvin. Oh, and he wanted to try everything. Every new drug fad, kinky tricks with me, other women. I was drunk a lot, all right? I regret it. But what's done is done.
What can you tell me about Everett DeLong?
He's a very decent man. He's always been crazy about Vivian, which she in turn uses to control him.
Now, they're both doctors, right? Which one did they get the drugs from, do you know?
No, I don't know.
Roxanne, it was going on in your house.
You know how it is with the drinker? Okay, he'll ask you to sit down and talk, ask you if you want a taste, pour himself one, whether you have one or not, and then proceed to knock it back while you sit there and chat about the weather or some damn thing.
Do you know anybody who might have wanted Alvin dead?
You really think he was murdered?
Yeah, I do, Roxanne. I just can't prove it.
Wait, is that the reason for all these questions? You think I did it?
No, I don't think that you did it, Roxanne. I'm trying to come up with some kind of motive. Was Alvin afraid of anybody? Was there anything that he was concerned about? Money deals, anything like that?
Money. He was setting up a trust fund for Walter Fox's children. He called it his atonement.
Atonement? Well, what did he do to them?
It happened at our house at a party. Walter died of an overdose of something. Alvin had given him the drugs. Scared the hell out of him. That was just before we split up.
Was there an inquest?
No, because Alvin drove the body back to Walter's house where it was found. No one ever even knew we were involved.
Nobody at all?
Everett and Vivian.
So then Alvin started to feel guilty.
I tried to tell him that it wasn't his fault alone. I mean, Walter certainly wasn't innocent. And it was probably one of the DeLongs that gave him the drugs in the first place. Once Alvin got clean and sober, it really started eating at him. He really was a very caring, decent man.
I really need your help on this, Roxanne. Anything that you can think of, keep going over it. Give me a call, all right?
It's a grapevine, right? Huh? You're running for your boss's job. Whoa. Where did you hear that? Unimpeachable sauce in City Hall.
Who else has heard this? Conroy?
From what I'm told.
And?
He got very quiet.
Oh no. That's bad. Look, if I do this thing, it flops. I mean, goodbye job, goodbye Palm Beach. I'll be fired the day after election day. I'm not even sure I want to do this.
But what if you win? You have the right people behind you, from what I'm told. Why are you so worried? If the only way for you to take a step up the ladder is to knock the guy off ahead of you, that's politics. Congratulations, Donovan. I think. I'm boned. I'm boned.
Did you cancel your sessions for today?
Yes. I said I'd been mugged. Do I look mugged?
Vivian,
Don't ruin it by apologizing.
ruin it.
A little excitement from you for a change.
Would you have shot me?
Right between the eyes.
Can you really be that cold?
Oh, anything but cold. You know that.
Vivian, I'm going to the office.
I didn't get to finish what I'd started last night. Help me.
Vivian.
And at first, we didn't have a clue. Every file had doctor's orders on it. Many a time, Dr. DeLong had ordered one drug or another, but there were never any shortages.
Any morphine?
Oh, you bet. There was morphine, there was meperidine, there was a whole lot of stuff. His patients would have looked like pin cushions.
Wait, so you're telling me he let his patients suffer while he walked off with the drugs?
No, actually, it was just the opposite. They never suffered. Usually, it was a natural delivery of a second or third child. All they needed was a local for an episiotomy.
He wrote up prescriptions, kept the drugs himself, made fake entries on patient charts.
And the insurance companies paid for the fun.
And for Alvin Drake's murder.
It's not the slam dunk we were looking for, but it's enough to bring his butt in here and talk about it.
So, you ready to go get him, partner?
Oh, man, I wish. Judge called a 2-hour recess to look at some evidence, see if it was admissible in court. I gotta get back. Good luck.
Thanks. Lieutenant, shall we?
After you.
All right.
My attorney is on his way. Could you please tell me what this is all about?
Sure you don't want to wait for your lawyer?
Please, just answer me.
You are a suspect in the theft of morphine and other drugs taken from Maywood Hospital. You should know that we also have, under warrant, secured copies of pertinent patient files. You're also a suspect in the murder of Alvin Drake.
Murder? Not me. Alvin wasn't murdered. It was an accident. You were there.
Mr. Drake died of a lethal injection of morphine, Doctor. It wasn't instantaneous. You could have done it.
What? How much?
Oh, enough to kill several people. He was knocked unconscious and then he was injected. It's really cold, Doctor.
But I didn't. The man fell down the stairs.
He was a walking dead man before he got to the stairs. Dr. DeLong, I know that you took the morphine and the syringe that killed Alvin Drake from Maywood Hospital. If you gave them to someone else and you want to tell me about it, I'm all ears. Do you have anything to say?
Leave me alone. Please, just leave me alone.
I feel like it is slipping away.
Spent an hour with Donovan trying to wring this thing out. Says in his opinion.
We have no smoking syringe.
Words to that effect.
Yeah. No, if he didn't do it, if it was Vivian, even if Everett knows and he wants to tell us, we are locked out.
You're right. Husband and wife privilege. You can't testify against it. But that deals with communications between spouses.
So if he gave the morphine to Vivian, he could testify to that, couldn't he?
I think he could. And if we can put what amounted to the murder weapon in her hands, that would at least give Donovan some leverage. Mrs. Drake here yet?
Yeah, she's here.
Let's put them both together and see how the doctor reacts, right?
Great. Everett?
Roxanne. I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry. You've got to believe me, I didn't know.
It's hard to believe someone could do that to Alvin, isn't it?
I can't believe Vivian could be that cold. But she always surprises me. Why are you here?
I came to see Sergeant Lance. She told me you were in here, and I thought you'd be scared. Did Vivian stick that needle in my husband, Everett?
I don't know that she did. Maybe.
Did you give her the drugs?
I always kept her supplied. She would pass whatever she had along to her friends. I've been very stupid, haven't I?
Yeah, well, we've all been pretty stupid from time to time. Everett, you just gotta get control of your life.
But first, I would have to get it away from Vivian. And I don't think I can do that. I'm helpless with her.
I know you'll do what's right.
George Donovan and I have both talked to Judge Miller, and the judge says that Dr. DeLong is to be released on his own recognizance immediately.
I know, Mr. Hubert. I already spoke to Donovan. The man will be right out. As a matter of fact, here he is now.
Richard, good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Everett, did you keep your mouth shut?
Everything is fine, Vivian.
Good. Then let's get you home.
And do what? Get high? So we can forget the mess we're in? The grief that we've caused?
Darling, you've been through hell.
Doctor, I'd advise you to keep quiet until we've had a chance to talk.
What for? What's the point? I'm sick of it all. Our entire life is a waste. Now, are you going to talk to these men and tell them what happened?
I've got nothing to say to them.
Take some responsibility, Vivian.
Let's go. I used to think Vivian was addicted to sex. She's not. It's control she's hooked on.
Have you seen this? A shark like Artie Macker loves the taste of warm blood, and he doesn't give a damn whose veins it comes out of.
The early edition. What's in it, George?
Only the end of my career, in this town anyway.
DA's office in gridlock, an unnamed source. It wouldn't be you now, would it, George?
Roy Conroy didn't get to be DA by being stupid. He's gonna know it was me.
He's got a gun.
He's got a gun.
Dr. DeLong in the parking lot. He's going to shoot his wife.
Stay here. Drop the gun and release her.
Stay back! I don't want to have to shoot.
You're too weak to do it. You haven't got the guts.
I will do it, Vivian. Unless you go back inside and tell them what you did to Alvin.
You are such a fool. I did it as much for you as for me. If the truth comes out, we're both ruined.
Put the gun down, Dr. DeLong.
Let her go and drop the gun.
Stay away.
Drop the gun.
Listen to her. She has something she wants to tell you.
I've got nothing to say.
Well, let's talk about this without the gun. Put the gun down.
Tell them.
Oh, what? You don't have the nerve to do it. You know damn well I'd do it to you, but you can't do it.
Lieutenant Hudson helped me understand a few things.
What about Roxanne?
And my dad. Pride is what kept him drunk. He couldn't admit that he was powerless over alcohol. He thought that he could beat it on sheer willpower, but disease does not have respect for willpower. You gotta be willing to surrender to it. My dad would never surrender to anything.
Well, maybe he couldn't. Huh? Nobody likes to admit their mistakes, open up to strangers, ask for help.
Yeah, but those strangers were people just like him. They might have had answers. And that is what is so sad, that things could have turned out differently for him. Step number 4, made a searching and moral inventory of ourselves.
Ouch! And it only gets tougher from there.
Uh-huh.
Rita! Chris!
Hey, Roxanne!
Endorphins! They kick in at mile 4.